这个故事如果你听起来不累，那么你的听力水平在生活中是完全够用的。要持续提升英文，记得点击订阅按钮。我们开始吧。
The hill looked gentle, but one wrong step could send you all the way down. In the winter of 1884, the town of Mill Creek sat under a hard sheet of ice. The river was frozen, the trees were stiff, and the road that cut through the center of town had turned into a long white slide. Children loved it. Grown men feared it. At the north end of that road stood a small church with stone steps. Those steps were known for trouble. On cold mornings, a thin layer of clear ice would hide on the gray rock. It looked safe. It was not. One Sunday, a shop owner named Henry Blake hurried up those steps. He was late. He carried a box of nails under one arm and waved at friends with the other. His boot hit the ice. His body tilted. For a second he fought it. Then he slid. He did not just fall. He slid down all 6 steps, hit the road, and kept sliding until he knocked into a horse cart. The box broke open. Nails scattered like silver rain. People rushed to help him. Henry was lucky. A sore back, a bruised arm, nothing more. As he sat in the snow, red in the face, he muttered, "It is a slippery slope. You start at the top, and there is no stopping." The men around him laughed. The phrase stuck in the air. Back then, the words were plain and real. A slope that was slippery could hurt you. Farmers used the phrase for muddy hills after rain. Loggers used it when they dragged trees down wet ground. It was a warning about land and weather. Nothing more. Yet words have a way of sliding too. That same winter, the church held a meeting about a new dance hall plan near the river. Some people liked the idea. The town was growing. Workers wanted music after long days in the mill. Others feared it would bring noise, drink, and fights. During the meeting, old Pastor Reed stood up. His voice was soft but sharp. He spoke of Henry's fall on the icy steps. Many had seen it. All had heard about it. "You think it is only a dance hall," he said. "You say it is only one small step. But I have seen how a slippery slope works. A man takes one step, then he cannot stop." The room grew still. He was no longer talking about ice. He was talking about choices. That night, the phrase took on a new life. It moved from stone steps to human steps. From boots on ice to habits in the heart. The dance hall did open. There were songs and bright lamps. For a while, nothing terrible happened. Then one payday, a fight broke out. A window shattered. A young worker lost a week's pay at the card table and went home angry. His wife stood at their door, baby in her arms, and said nothing. The town began to whisper. The pastor's words were repeated. A slippery slope. Years passed. The phrase traveled beyond Mill Creek. In the early 1900s, newspapers began to use it. A writer in Chicago warned that cutting safety rules in a factory could be a slippery slope. One loose rule leads to another, he wrote. Soon the floor is as slick as ice. In a courtroom in New York, a lawyer argued that allowing one small cheat in a contract would be a slippery slope. The judge tapped his pen. He knew what the lawyer meant. One step. Then another. Then no ground left. The words were simple. A child could understand them. That was their power. Back in Mill Creek, Henry Blake grew older. His shop did well. He told the story of his fall to anyone who would listen. Each time, he made it a bit bigger. In his telling, the ice was thicker, the slide longer, the crash louder. Children sat wide-eyed as he spread his arms to show how far he had traveled. One winter evening, his grandson Sam asked him, "Grandpa, were you scared?" Henry looked at his stiff hands. "Not at the top," he said. "At the top I thought I was in control. The fear came when my feet were gone from under me." Sam remembered that line. When Sam was a teenager, the mill offered him quick money to skip school and work full-time. Many boys did it. The cash felt heavy and good in the pocket. Sam stood outside the mill door one cold morning. He thought of the icy steps. He thought of his grandfather sliding. The nails flying into the air. He could hear his friends calling him inside. "It is just 1 year," they said. "You can go back to school later." Just 1 year. Sam saw the slope in his mind. He saw how easy it would be to take that one step, then another, until books felt far away and the mill whistle ruled his days. He turned around. He went back to school. Not all stories in town ended that way. A man named Carl began with one small loan from a lender near the train station. The paper he signed looked harmless. The interest was tiny, they said. Carl missed a payment. The interest grew. He borrowed again to cover the first loan. Within a year, he had sold his tools. People shook their heads. Slippery slope. The phrase crossed oceans. British papers used it. So did writers in Australia and Canada. It appeared in debates about health, about school rules, about business deals. It did not shout. It did not curse. It simply warned. Language experts later traced early uses of the exact words in print to the 1800s. At first, they described real hills slick with rain or ice. By the early 1900s, the meaning had shifted. It became a picture of danger in slow motion. Not a cliff you jump from, but a hill you slide down, bit by bit, while telling yourself you are still standing. That picture stays strong because it feels true. Most trouble does not begin with a crash. It begins with a small, almost funny step. In our time, the slope may not be covered in snow. It may glow from a screen. A student checks one short video before bed. Then another. The clock moves. Sleep shrinks. Grades slip. The change is quiet. No loud fall. Just a gentle slide. A worker tells one small lie to avoid blame. It works. The lie makes things easier. The next lie comes faster. Soon he cannot remember where the truth began. A friend skips one workout. Then 1 week. The body grows heavy. The mirror feels colder. None of these moments feel huge. That is the trick of a slippery slope. It smiles at the top. It whispers that you can stop whenever you want. Henry Blake lived to see cars replace horses in Mill Creek. The road was paved at last. The church steps were roughened to stop ice from forming. The town felt safer. On his final winter, Henry walked slowly past those same steps. A light snow was falling. He pressed his cane into the ground and tested each move. Sam, now a grown man, walked beside him. "Do you still think about that fall?" Sam asked. Henry nodded. "It taught me more than any sermon. The ground does not change in a second. It changes little by little. If you watch your feet, you can choose where to stand." He died that spring. At his funeral, people shared stories. Some spoke of his shop. Some spoke of his laugh. Sam told the tale of the icy steps. The room smiled, then grew quiet. A slippery slope is not only a warning. It is also a choice point. At the top, you still have your balance. You still have your say. You may not live in a town like Mill Creek. You may not walk on frozen stone. Yet each day offers small steps that seem harmless. One click. One word. One skipped task. One quick deal. The hill looks gentle. Your foot is on the edge. The next move is yours.
能以非母语者的身份专注学习到现在，这本身就是很棒的进步。真诚感谢你的观看。如果你觉得本期内容实用，点赞或留言让我知道你的想法，这对我持续创作非常重要。我们下期见。